Yo, what's cracking everyone? Ericship 111 here, and I feel like I say this in every intro for a Forza Horizon 5 video, but we are getting closer to the launch date. 67 days left to be exact. Yes, just over 2 months. And if you guys have been following Forza Horizon's official Twitter account, just about a week ago as I'm making this video, Playground Games have slowly been revealing the car list manufacturer by manufacturer. So far we have seen the entire car list for Mercedes-Benz, Mercedes-AMG, Hoonigan, Land Rover, Jaguar, Ford and Porsche. Now, it's been said that Forza Horizon 5 will have the largest car roster ever in its series at launch, and that's a very important detail that's been added because that means Horizon 5 will have more than what Horizon 4 had when it first released, which was around 400 vehicles, but most likely less than what Horizon 4 currently has right now with all the car updates, which is over 700 cars. Some rumors have suggested that we may see around 500 vehicles at launch. However, don't quote me on that one, but you might be asking, what does this all really mean? Well, let's just hypothetically say Horizon 5 does launch with around 500 cars, and let's be honest, most of them are probably going to be brought across from Horizon 4, and that's still around 200 less than what Horizon 4 currently has. And with Playground Games showcasing that there are new additions into the franchise like the Jaguar XJR15, the 2021 Ford Bronco, the new Toyota Supra, and amongst many more, some we may not have even seen yet, these new cars will sadly replace and omit some of our favorites from Horizon 4. And if we look at the history from Horizon title through to Horizon titles, this has been a very common practice. So then what will the cars that won't make it from Horizon 4 to Horizon 5? Unfortunately, I don't have an accurate answer for you, but what I do know is that it's up to the developers to decide which cars they feel is best fitted for the game and where it's set. And so far with the current car list reveal, we've already seen some cars from Horizon 4 not making it into Horizon 5. Now, they did have a disclaimer on their tweets saying that these cars will be available from day one, which suggests that more cars from these manufacturers will be added through post-launch. Some could even be our favorites originally cut from Horizon 4, but should Playground Games continue the post-launch support in Horizon 5 like they did with Horizon 4, depending on how long this game cycle will be, not only will most of the missing cars from Horizon 4 return, unless there were some real licensing issues, but we will easily surpass what Horizon 4 currently has of over 700 vehicles. So, what are the cars that won't be returning to Forza Horizon 5 on day one? Starting off with our first manufacturer, if you even want to call it that, Hoonigan. On this list, we have 5 vehicles that won't be returning, and I just want to make a quick note before I continue. All of the cars we are discussing in today's video are vehicles that have appeared in Forza Horizon 4. The first missing car is the Gymkhana 9 Ford Focus RS RX, first introduced into the Forza franchise in Horizon 3 from the Blizzard Mountain DLC. This car was superseded by the Hoonigan Gymkhana 10 Focus RS RX, which will appear in Horizon 5, and unfortunately we may possibly not see this car returning to the Horizon franchise again, as it is an older Hoonigan car. Second is the Gymkhana 10 Ford Fiesta ST. Only ever appearing in Forza Horizon 4, it looks as if it's staying that way when Horizon 5 launches. But with so many Gymkhana 10 Hoonigan cars in the Horizon 5's car list, expect this to return sometime in the future. Third is the Gymkhana 8 Ford Fiesta ST RX 43. How dare they take this car out from the car list? How is Don Joon's song now gonna test all his Events Lab creations? Come to think of it now, all the Hoonigan Fiestas have all been removed from Horizon 5's launch, which is certainly very interesting. Then we have the Ford Bronco, introduced as part of the huge Super 7 update in Series 30. I'm shocked that with so many Broncos in Horizon 5 that this one will be omitted from launch. And lastly, from Hoonigan, we have the Mazda RX-7 Twerk Stallion. Introduced in Horizon 3 through the Hoonigan car pack and in Horizon 4 was a very cheap vehicle to purchase, I'm a little sad that we won't see this in Horizon 5 at launch, as it is the only Japanese Hoonigan car on the list. Moving on to our next manufacturer on the list, Jaguar. Firstly, with the XJS, introduced in Forza Motorsport 6 through the Top Gear car pack, it made its return in both Horizon 3 and Horizon 4. However, with the new XJR 15 in the Jaguar roster, I guess Playground Games thought this may have been the car to remove. Second is the C-Type, only ever appearing in Forza Horizon 4 as part of the car pass. Who remembers this being one of the only vehicles you could sell for 10 million credits through the auction house? Well, say goodbye to this for now. Next is the XKRS GT. Now in Horizon 5 we do have the standard variant available on day one. I'm curious, even though the devs do say, okay, these are the cars you will be getting on day one, but that doesn't necessarily guarantee that these vehicles down the track will actually return. And finally, the XK120 SE. As cool as this car is, this most certainly suited Horizon 4 much better than it does with Horizon 5, hence why I believe this car is getting cut at launch. Now we move on to both Mercedes-AMG and Mercedes-Benz, starting with the only Mercedes-AMG, the GTS. Now I can't really say I'm really surprised that this one is missing the cut for Horizon 5 at launch, as it is quite outdated now with the GTR in the game and the possibility of the GT Black Series being introduced into Horizon 5 as a DLC or a series update. The GTS could end up being gone for good. The next four will be from the Mercedes-Benz lineup, beginning with the 280 SL. Introduced in Forza Motorsport 6 through a DLC car pack, it has appeared in every Forza title since. However, in Horizon 4 though, this car wasn't included in the car list at launch, but was later introduced in Series 5. Will it happen again for Forza Horizon 5? Next is the 300 SLR, one of the OGs of the Horizon car list, first appearing back in Forza Motorsport 4. It, however, only made its Horizon debut in Horizon 4, but sadly has currently been cut for now. Thirdly is the E350D 4MATIC Terrain. Now this one I kinda understand, as it is tied with Top Gear, and perhaps Playground Games have yet or didn't re-sign with a Top Gear collaboration for now, hence why we won't be seeing this diesel on day one. And lastly, the SL65 AMG. This one definitely hurt for me a little bit, as I do love this car. Certainly one of my favorites from the Mercedes-Benz lineup, and has literally been in every Forza title since Forza Motorsport 3. Unfortunately for now, the streak has come to an end. However, like all cars on today's list, we may see it return. We now move on to quite possibly the manufacturer with one of the largest car lists in Horizon 5, Ford. So I'm going to begin with some non-production or pre-tuned cars, as I believe these won't be returning at launch, partially because their base production model will already exist in Horizon 5, but from Deberti Designs, both the Mustang GT and F-150 pre-runner won't be available on day one, and then 3 Barrett-Jackson Fords will be excluded at launch too, and they will be the Ford Hooligan, the Custom Double Down, and the Bronco. If you ask me, these cars are a 50-50 whether or not they'll return to Forza Horizon 5, but we now move on to the production lineup. First off, we have the XB Falcon GT. Look, as much as I love Aussie cars, I can kind of see why they didn't bring this, as let's be real, not many people in the grand scheme of things really know much about Aussie cars, so I do kind of understand the decision for this. Next up is the Ford Super Deluxe Wagon. Again, more of a niche car, but we'll be saddened to not see this at launch since it's been with Forza from Horizon 3. Third, we have the Mustang Mach-1. Oddly enough, a car that's been in every motorsport game since number 4, but only made its Horizon debut in Horizon 4. And I'm guessing with so many Mustangs already in Horizon 5, Playground Games decided to make this one obsolete at launch. Next is the Lotus Cortina. I'm sure a lot of you may not be too happy about this as it is one of our favorites from Horizon 4, but that was because of where the game was set to. Will it have the same aura in Horizon 5? Who exactly knows? Our fifth car is the M Sport Fiesta RS. Again, another Fiesta missing on day one. Does Playground Games all of a sudden hate them or something? I have no idea. Then we have this Ford GT40 Le Mans, one of the very few cars left that's actually appeared in every major Forza title since its debut on the original Xbox. It would be sad if we don't ever see this in Horizon 5. And lastly, the number 5 Escort Mark II. Okay, so we know we have the Mark 1 Escort in Horizon 5 as a new car into the Forza franchise, but this Mark II Escort was also quite new as well, introduced in Horizon 4 in a late series update. I'm certainly surprised that this didn't make it into the day one car lineup. And now we move on to our final manufacturer for today's video, Porsche. We've got a few missing from Horizon 4, beginning with the number 3 917 LH. Debuting in Horizon 4 in a series update, I'm not sure where a car like this fits into Horizon 5, but it would be a waste to just leave this out. Second is the number 23 91720. Again, similar to the previous Porsche we mentioned, it may be a little hard to drive these racing cars off-road. Next up is the number 46 356 SL, a 34 brake horsepower racing car, and yeah, I can kind of see why this one didn't make it into Horizon 5's launch. Number 4, the 356A Speedster. Another 356 that Playground Games is getting rid of, maybe because these very low powered Porsches might potentially struggle to go up the volcanoes. Number 5, the 356C Emery Special. Okay, this one has a little more power as opposed to the other 356s, and debuting in the series in Horizon 4, I do have a feeling that this one will come back in the future. Next up is the 356 RSR Emery Special. Much like the previous Emery Porsche, this was also introduced very recently in Horizon 4 through a series update. This wouldn't have been a bad choice to keep for a day one launch. Number 7, the 550A Spider. Featured in the original Forza Motorsport title, this car has been in and out of the franchise many times, and it looks as if this car will be sitting out for now for Horizon 5. Then we have the 718 RS60. Now, I kind of realized something. Playground Games have added so many cars that don't have a good shelf life from game to game. What I mean by this is perhaps people aren't driving these cars enough, but yet the same amount of resources, money, and technology have been used to model these cars, and I guess it's kind of showing at the moment that the time used to model some of these cars do go to waste. Then we have number 9, the GT3 RS 4 litre. Considering that the 2004 GT3 is in the game, but this isn't, is quite interesting. But to be honest, all I want to see is the new 2021 GT3 in Horizon 5. Now, the next two cars both debuted in Horizon 4 and were awesome Porsches to drive. I don't know why these cars have been cut at launch considering how popular they were, but both the Singer Porsche DLS and Gunter Works Carrera 2 will be absent at least for the time being. Next is the 928 GTS, originally seen in the developer's build for Horizon 4 before launch. It was finally brought into the game after 2 years later, and will now sadly go missing once again. Then we have the Cayman GTS, brought into the franchise back in Horizon 2. Yeah, this car is pretty old now, and with many newer Caymans featured in Horizon 5, I guess that is one reason why this got removed from launch. And lastly, we have both the Macan and Cayenne turbos, again probably excluded from launch and possibly the entire life of Horizon 5, as they have been superseded by newer models. So far, 39 cars from Horizon 4 won't be returning to Horizon 5, at least on day one, but again, there's no guarantees that all or any will return at the end of the day. But which cars are you guys most sad about that's not returning to Forza Horizon 5, at least on launch? Write them down in the comment section below. I do read all of your comments, guys. And if you guys did find this video helpful or interesting, make sure to smash the thumbs up button, as that would really help me out. And lastly, if you guys would like to see more Forza Horizon 5 news, rumors, and some possible early gameplay, make sure to click the subscribe button with notifications turned on. That way you won't ever miss out on another video that goes live, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Peace.